he has created a bill requiring men to get vasectomies by age 40. State Representative Chris Rabb, Philadelphia Democrat, supports a solution to lawmaking men who want to control policy on women's and girls' bodies, requiring men by 6 weeks into age 40 or after child 3 to get vasectomies, and it's all in the name of reproductive rights for women and girls. Rabb also wrote the legislation which was in a response to restrictive abortion bills around the US. I thought it was as important as a man to speak up about reproductive rights, Rabb said, according to WHP-TV. There are bills and laws that regulate and restrict bodily autonomy for women and girls, but not so much for men. While the legislation is satirical, it's supposed to add conversation on reproductive rights. In the statement, Rabb said, as long as the state legislature continues to restrict the reproductive rights of cis women, trans men, and non-binary people, there should be laws to address the responsibility of men who impregnate them. That's obviously beside the law of having to look after the child and pay child support for the first 18 years of its life. My sincere hope in introducing this legislation is that my colleagues in the General Assembly consider the egregiously gendered double standard when it comes to curtailing reproductive health care as it applies to women. Republicans reportedly responded with abortion and vasectomies not being equal issues and argued the bill conversation won't get very far. What do you think about that?
So the main thing that I heard from and what I want to talk about is the satirical aspect of it. So like it was knowingly satirical, right? When he did it, he himself knows that it's not ever going to get passed and it's not real. So what I'm wondering is what is the efficacy of like an extreme satirical play like that to get conversation started? Ultimately, right? Like to get people thinking about, the other side of it, which is the abortion laws that are being passed. It's very interesting. Obviously, it's ridiculous, right? He even knows it's ridiculous. But that's what I'm wondering is like how effective is satire in bringing about conversation? And I would say it's decently effective, right? You have
well, we're talking about it.
Yeah, exactly. And what sort of effect will it have on the actual lawmakers and the the people in power who can make a difference and make changes?
I don't know if I want the people that represent me in government to be wasting time and money doing shit like this, though. I just feel like, is that the satire, no matter how fucking effective it is, it needs to be unbelievably effective because he's put a bill in. I have no idea what that means. Yeah, it's a waste of time, yeah. But he's created a bill and it's actually been put out into the world. Is there not more important things to do? Your country's fucked. Like, the government and the politicians in your country are fucked.
It's a guy is basically trolling at like the elite level.
Professional trolling, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather, tax dollars go elsewhere for sure than that. And that it's insane. But, here we are talking about it.
Yeah, fair point. I don't know. I feel like trying to further restrict in response to a restriction is just a bad... it's not a tremendously good way to try and even the scales, right? If you have a problem with a particular law, let's say it's restrictions on voter ID, you don't then try and restrict something else to even the scales. You try to reduce the restriction that you've got a problem with. And the same thing goes with abortion law. Like, if you're bothered about the restrictions on abortions, then you can fight that. But trying to create something that sits on the opposite side of the fence, it makes it too easy. If he genuinely cared, I think there would have been a smarter way to go about this, because it's not the same. It's not equivalent. It would be the same as a woman getting her tubes tied, which isn't the same as an abortion.
Yeah, that doesn't match up for me at all, really. Restricting someone's ability to reproduce. And then the other one is, the person has already reproduced.
Yeah, and then you're taking a life, which is what the people that are pro-life are arguing. That bit about there should be laws to address the responsibility of men who impregnate women. It's like, what do you mean? Like, there already are.
Yeah, there's...
you have to pay for the child.
There's child support.
Yeah, for a very long time.
That already exists.
Anyway, that's what I've been thinking about this week.
Yeah, that's incredibly odd. It sounds like it would be a headline to an Onion article. Right? Wouldn't it be? I mean, like, I honestly, when you brought it up, I've never heard of this, but when you brought it up, I thought it was like a population control type of play, like China has had for quite a while.
Yeah. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you enjoyed that, then press here for the full, unedited episode. And don't forget to subscribe. It makes me very happy indeed. Peace.